Hey everyone, today in Aztec Mythology, we're talking about the legend of the cloud serpent, Mixcoatl. Mixcoatl was born as the bastard child of two gods. His father was Tonactacutli, the god of fertility. His mother was not Tonactacutli's wife. Instead, he had an affair with another goddess of fertility, Cihuacoatl. Fearing for the safety of her bastard child, Cihuacoatl ran away and eventually left that baby at a crossroad. And fun fact, Cihuacoatl leaving her baby at a crossroads inspired many folk tales, including La Llorona. Cihuacoatl would eventually return to the crossroads to pick up her baby, but it was too late. By that time, he had already disappeared. Mixcoatl would eventually find his way into the forest and be raised by forest animals like wolves, eagles, and jaguars. It's here in the forest that he became a phenomenal hunter, so good that he earned a reputation. And it was said that he was so strong and so precise, his arrows could pierce anything. Now, Chimama, a goddess of life and death, took this as a personal slight because she had an indestructible shield and people were saying his arrows could pierce it and she wasn't having none of that. Chimama's shields were her biggest accomplishment. It's literally what she was named after, hand shield. She made amazing shields. So she took one of her shields, went out to the forest and told Mixcoatl, let it rip. And he did. And he failed. The two would eventually fall in love, start dating, get married, and have two kids. Two very powerful kids. Two of the most strongest gods in all of Aztec mythology. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, the god of justice and wind, and Xolotl, whose name means monster or ugly, who became the god of monsters and death. Also, I should note, while Quetzalcoatl's name means feathered serpent, he could turn into a feathered serpent thanks to this war club he got. He wasn't actually a feathered serpent. Looks-wise, he was just a regular handsome dude. Xolotl, however, was ugly and did live up to his name. He was born looking like a dog. Now, for some reason, a reason we don't know, Mixcoatl would eventually get remarried to Coatlicue. Coatlicue, whose name means the woman who wears a skirt made of snakes, was a goddess of fertility. Not to be confused with Mixcoatl's mother, who was also a goddess of fertility and immortality, and was named Cihuacoatl, the lady with snakes. Mixcoatl and Coatlicue would give birth to Coyolxauhqui, the lady with the silver bell, and the 400 star warriors. Coatlicue would then get pregnant from a hummingbird feather landing on her stomach, which if you don't believe that, nobody did. And in fact, Coyolxauhqui, her daughter, said, if you give birth to that child, you're disregarding the legacy of our father. I will kill that baby. She had the baby anyways, and sure enough, that baby was Huitzilopochtli, the hummingbird of the south, the god of war. Coyolxauhqui led her Star Warrior brothers in a war against Huitzilopochtli, but it didn't end well for them. For reasons nobody knows why, Quetzalcoatl would gift Huitzilopochtli one of the most powerful weapons in all of Aztec mythology. It was a war club that could breathe fire and turn into a dragon, and it was very powerful, and it could kill gods, and it was called Xiuhcoatl, the fire snake. Using the Xiuhcoatl, Huitzilopochtli defeated his sister and his 400 brothers, defended his mother, and secured his legacy as one of the greatest warriors in Aztec mythology. Assumingly inspired by these events and hoping for no more bloodshed, Mixcoatl was reintroduced to his mother and his brothers. But his new half-brothers, who were the children of the god of sustenance, didn't like him. They didn't want to like him. In fact, they hated him. And so, Mixcoatl, using the thunderbolts from the sky, created fire, made it sustainable, and gave it to humanity, which is something they hated. He created fire to keep humans warm, but what they ended up doing was burning the corn and eating it. The corn that the lords of sustenance grew. Fire became so popular and loved, humans started worshipping it, and it materialized as a goddess known as Chantico. And wouldn't you know it, Mixcoatl's son, Xolotl, would fall in love with Chantico. However, everyone, especially the lords of sustenance, Mixcoatl's half-brothers, made fun of Chantico and Xolotl because Xolotl was a dog. And after Chantico knowingly disobeyed an order from the Lords of Sustenance, they cursed her to be a dog. Which, yes, was messed up, but now Xolotl and Chantico could be together, so, you know, silver lining. Mixcoatl had had enough, though. He was sick and tired of the way his half-brothers were treating him, treating his kids, treating his son's wife, so he was like, no, we're stepping on business, you three versus me. And they did fight, and it was a close fight, but Mixcoatl was defeated and killed. And if that wasn't enough, the three brothers then went to Quetzalcoatl, who had just lost his father to them in a fight, and told Quetzalcoatl, hey, make a funeral and kill a bunch of forest creatures, wolves, eagles, jaguars, do it in his name. He was the god of the hunt. He would have loved mass murdering animals. Even more offensive because Quetzalcoatl was one of the few gods who refused to sacrifice things. He hated sacrifice, so I think something snapped in him. Because when Quetzalcoatl built the funeral altar and invited his three half-uncles, they arrived to find Quetzalcoatl holding a torch with fire, and they were surrounded by all of the forest animals. See, Quetzalcoatl convinced all the forest animals to kill the gods and fight by his side, and that's exactly what they did. And upon the funeral spot of his dead father, Quetzalcoatl used the animals and fire to defeat his half-uncles, and he killed them. Quetzalcoatl may have been a nice guy, but he was an Aztec god, and he stood on business. And he served justice. And that is the legend of the cloud serpent, Mixcoatl. Hope you enjoyed the video, everyone. Why haven't we got Aztec mythology as a video game? Come on, it's about damn time. Have a magical day, everyone.